Subtracting integers and keep change change. Remember, when you subtract integers, you're using keep change change. Listen up. When we subtract two integers, we will be changing the subtraction problem to an addition problem. How are we going to change subtraction to addition? It's easy. We're going to use keep change change. What do we mean by keep change change? The best way to explain it is by looking at an actual subtraction problem. 3 minus -4. Note that we have our parentheses around the -4 so that we know that -4 is different from the subtraction sign. So the first thing we're going to do in keep change change is to keep the first addend. Remember, an addend are just simply the two numbers that are being added or subtracted. The next thing we're going to do is change. We're going to change the subtraction sign to an addition sign. So we're going to change this subtraction sign here, okay, to an addition problem. So right now our problem looks like this: 3 plus. Finally, we're going to change the sign of the second addend. So our second addend is -4. And we know if we change the sign, then we're going to be making that a +4. So we've basically rewritten the problem to look like this: 3 minus -4 is the same thing as 3 plus 4. And 3 plus 4 equals 7. Let's try another problem. -4 minus 10. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a parenthesis around my -4. Now I'm going to write down my steps. Keep, change, change. So the first thing I'm going to do is keep my first addend, which is -4. The next thing I'm going to do is change my sign from subtraction to addition. And the final thing I'm going to do is change the last addend from positive to negative. Now this is an important part. We've already changed the subtraction to addition in this part of our process. So the 10 that we're working with is positive. So when I change a positive, when I flip the sign of the +10, I end up with -10. So we see that -4 minus 10 is the same thing as -4 plus -10. So let's pick up with the last problem where we used keep change change and changed our subtraction problem to an addition problem. And it looked something like this: -4 plus -10. Now we have a couple of different ways that we can solve it. We can solve it using integer chips, or we can solve it on the number line. Let's look at the number line. Okay, I'm going to start I'm going to go to -4. I'm going to take a point and put it on -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to come up here and I need to decide which way am I going to go on the number line. And am I going to go to the left or to the right? Well, I'm adding a negative, so that means I'm going to go to the left. And I'm going to move to the left by 10 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if we count, we've landed on -14. So our answer is negative 14. Now I could have chosen to use integer chips. In that instance, what I have is I have negative 4, so I would draw 4 negative integer chips, and then I would add to that 10 negative integer chips. And then I would add all of those up, and I would get a total of negative 14, just like I found on the number line. Let's try negative 2 minus 7. The first thing I want you to understand is that 7 in this subtraction problem is a positive number. 7 is a positive number. So let's go ahead and start with keep, change, change. Keep, change, change. I am going to keep the first add-in, so I'm going to keep negative 2. I'm going to change my subtraction problem to an addition problem, so that subtraction becomes addition. And finally, I'm going to take my positive 7 and make that a negative 7. So my original subtraction problem of negative 2 minus 7 is the very same thing as saying negative 2 plus negative 7. Then I can solve this problem by going on the number line or integer chips. Negative 2 plus negative 7 is going to equal negative 9. And you can prove that for yourself on the number line or using integer chips. Let's finish up with the final problem, 2 minus negative 2. In this one, it's pretty obvious that the second addend is a negative. Okay? You can see that because we have these nice parentheses around our negative 2. So let's write down what we're doing. We're doing keep, change, change. We're going to keep the first addend. Okay, so that's going to stay at 2. We're going to change it from a subtraction to an addition problem. And finally, we're going to change negative 2 to positive 2. So what we've done is taking a subtraction problem of 2 minus negative 2, and we've translated that into an addition problem, which looks like 2 plus 2. And we know that 2 plus 2 equals 4. Thanks for watching.